Hi, everyone. I'm Kaylee. I'm the Events and Engagement Manager at the RCSLT.
Hi, everybody. I'm Vikas Nautiyal. I'm a speech and language therapist working within adult neurology at Leicestershire Partnership Trust.
And we're here today to talk to you about professional networks and communities that you can engage in throughout your final bit as a student and into your starting your first job as an NQP. So very quickly, community. Community is the condition of sharing or having certain attitudes and interests in common. And we're all part of communities. There's all kinds of social communities out there on Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp. I know particularly in the current climate, I am incredibly grateful for some of my social communities, my WhatsApp book club in particular. Um, and with all this social media out there, in addition to our sort of personal social media, there are a whole wealth of professional social media bits and pieces out there for you. So I don't know if anybody follows the RCSLT right now. We have Twitter channels, various Twitter channels, to be honest. You can get involved in anything from RCSLT Learn has little bits and pieces of CPD on there. The research team put out all of the latest research and point you in the directions towards new and latest research and how to get involved. The entire list is there. The policy team, who have another video out right now, have loads of information, both on England, UK policy and from Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And the Giving Voice Twitter handle in particular, I know quite a few of you in the room do follow. So there's lots of ways for you to get involved from the RCSLT just on your phone, just on social media. We also have things like webinars, patient stories. There's a YouTube channel full of information on leadership. There's lectures. There's pieces on the New Communication Access UK project. There's so much information out there that you can access just with a click of a button. And I would encourage you all to get involved sort of from now. Vikas, anything from you?
No, I would also say that, yeah, there are all these channels and also, a website as well, I think, which has got some really valuable stuff on there, both for students and for us as professionals as well. So that's something as well that, I would look at.
Oh yeah, definitely. I wanted to point out that quite a few of you already are involved in professional communities. There's loads of speech language therapy societies and giving voice societies out there. And I didn't mention all of them purely for a time point of view on this particular slide. But I also wanted to go through what makes a professional community different to a personal or a student community. A professional community it's your access to the profession. It's where you can meet like-minded people like you, people who can really help you throughout your career. You can access advice and professional help, both at a formal level, like through the RCSLT, you can be put in touch with mentors and advisors, but also on an informal level, it's how you chat to people. It's how you find out about jobs that are coming up. It's how you find out about new pieces of CPD that might be really interesting. And professional communities allow you to find people interested in the same things as you are, both in a professional and a personal context. The RCSLT has loads of different communities out there for all different types of interests, and you will most certainly be able to find one that is in your interest group. Professional communities also help to spread best practice. Once you're sort of out of the little academic bubble, it can be a little bit lonely. And the best way of really keeping up to date with all of your best practice is through professional communities. And professional communities help to build resilience, particularly right now when it can feel a little bit challenging out there. It's always nice knowing that you have a group of people around you with your best interests at heart, with similar interests at heart, who are able to get in touch and, basically keep your chin up. And again, Vikas, I don't know if you have anything particularly right now. How is it in the world of work?
I think, Haley, one thing that you said towards the end was that at the moment, especially, things are quite hard, and you can feel quite isolated, and so I do feel that professional community definitely plays a big role. And just talking briefly about, like, for example, I mean, I'm part of like a voice in, and I feel just it has definitely helped me to not feel so isolated. So for example, we're doing a lot of virtual events, so you do feel that you're connected professionally, within that sort of specialist area of interest, and with other therapists as well. So that sort of engagement is still going on, be it virtually now. So I definitely feel that professional community is definitely important. Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you. So right now, you're final year students. You're probably scrambling to finish up dissertations. Sort of worrying about what's next for me right now. But there's a lot of stuff out there for you right now. You don't have to be a practicing therapist in order to join some of these professional communities. There are hubs, so those are geographical networks of speech and language therapists. There's 14 hubs across the UK. If you get in touch at any time, we can put you in touch with your local hub, and there's often little bits and pieces going on. Right now, the hub springtime is usually the time for hubs, big hub events that are going on, but there's still some little bits and pieces in between now and then. There's also lots of online chat that we can put you in touch with. Most of the hubs have Twitter handles at this point, so you can follow your local hub. So that's a great way to get involved immediately, because it's not clinically based. It's just based on where you live, and you're more than welcome to be part of more than one hub if you'd like. Vikas actually is I think the vice chair of the East Midlands Hub Steering Group now. So a little bit more on that later, I think. But there's also SENS that Vikas mentioned. So these are clinical or interest-based networks of speech and language therapists. And they always welcome students. You can be a student and a member of a SEN. And the SENS are really integral in RCSLT work. They're the ones who help to write guidance, clinical guidance and clinical guidelines. So everything on the website that you see is actually, it's written by speech therapists. It's not written by RCSLT staff. So definitely get involved in SENS. There's everything from, working with AAC all the way through to, working in the justice system. There's, I can't remember, I think there's 33 or 34 at last count, but they're all available on the website. You can get in touch directly and you can join right from there. Research champions. So this is an RCSLT kind of led group. It's groups of speech therapists interested in research. You don't actually have to be doing research. You just have to have an interest in it. And if you get in touch, we can definitely get you on the list of research champions. Learning champions. Again, this is just speech therapists with an interest in spreading CPD. So you don't have to be practicing, you just have to have an interest, and we would love to put you in touch with other like-minded people there. And we also have the Giving Voice Network, and these are SLTs with an interest in campaigning and influencing. And again, I think there's some other videos out there from my colleagues, but influencing doesn't necessarily mean, writing laws and getting things into Parliament. It's just, it's awareness raising. It's doing little bits and pieces in order to help spread the message that speech and language therapy is really important, and that we need to highlight the needs of people with speech, language, and communication needs. Maybe over to Vikas to hear a little bit more about the East Midlands Hub.
Yes, so just a little bit probably about quickly how I got involved with the East Midlands Hub. So I think that was just going a couple of years back when I was a student, and Giving Voice campaign was just launched around that time. So that was a time when we started sort of a Giving Voice Society at our university, and we organized a couple of events, and that was our first sort of time when we actually got involved with our local East Midlands Hub, who were able to provide us with further support in running these events. And we actually, students, were able to demonstrate that how actually we can also support our profession at this level. So that was great. And since then, after I graduated, when I then became a member of the steering group of the hub as an NQP for 2 years. And again, we were involved with organizing a lot of events and just kind of building up sort of like a good connection, a professional connection of all the SLTs within East Midlands. And just a way of that, we learn from each other. So we organized 2 events in a row. And now this is my 3rd year, and obviously, like, I mean, in my present role of deputy chair for Hub, again, our aim is to just make sure that all our fellow therapists within East Midlands and beyond perhaps feel connected and not so isolated. So we are actually organizing our first virtual event in a couple of weeks. So there is a lot that I think you can do right from very beginning, and then just build up on that really. And you have got that full support from, available from RCSLT for that. So yeah, and there is so much more information available online on that as well. So
yeah, and we actually, the reason that I asked Vikas to please help me to present this video is because we've been working together for quite a long time now, and it's always wonderful. And these are the kind of the connections that you make just through professional networks, through professional connections, and they're really heartening, and it makes for a wonderful working relationship. So hopefully you can all head out into the working world and really find your niche.
And sorry, just to add as well, Kaylee, I think as a student, you're really in a bubble, and you're very much focused on academic work and all that. But I think when you join these networks, I think you kind of see a little bit outside the box kind of thing. For me, that was a thing, how actually RCSLT works, just knowing actually, people who we just read about in bulletin, and actually meeting them, and, see what works actually goes on in the background, of a profession. And so I think that has been also a highlight for me, and being part of the Hub. So yeah.
Fabulous. So that's something that you can all get involved in now as students, but then what's out there for you in the future? There's the RCSLT general advice. You can always call us or email info@rcslt.org, and you get a person at the end of the phone who's there and ready to help you. And it can be anything from, I can't remember my membership number and I need to change my financial information, all the way through to, I have a really serious clinical question and I don't know who to go to in order to answer it. Anything at all, we can help you there. We're there for membership inquiries. We're there for clinical advice. We have a whole network of RCSLT advisors who are at the top of sorry. We have a whole network of RCSLT advisors who are at the top of the profession in terms of their clinical area, and would be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And I know for a fact that they will often prioritize student questions. So you can get in touch right from now. We have clinical academic career mentors. So if you're thinking of a career that will head more in the research direction, we have people who can help mentor you. Our network of leadership mentors are there for, let's call them slightly softer skills. So if you have questions about service delivery, questions about, management questions, how do I deal with change, things like that, we have mentors available for you to help. And then we have the Sen and Hub steering groups, and Vikas said that he had been on the Hub steering group right from his time as an NQP. So that's something that you can do right out of university. There are things that look really good on a CV at the very least, but they're also things that really help to build your professional network. And I would encourage you to do your best to do that, because it does help to build resilience. It will also help you in your career progression. I don't know, have I missed anything, Vikas? Anything that
No, I think you've covered. Yeah.
Fab. So then all of this together, how will that help you to find a job or start your first role? So I have a list of questions here that you can ask yourself. Things like when you're looking for job adverts, who do you ask? And, if you come across maybe that dream job, but it's in a location that you've never been to before, like who can you ask to find out what that's like, what the area is like? We can put you in touch with those people. We can add you to the local hub. We can put you in touch with local sends. All of that can be done through the website, or by emailing us, and we would be more than happy to do that. It's also really worthwhile to look at the social communities of the services that you're looking for a job in, that you're looking to interview at. Loads of services across the country now have Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, and they'll often post about things that are really interesting and really important to them. And just by following them, just by looking at those services, you can kind of get a feel for their ethos. And remember that interviewing it's a two-way thing. You have to like the service, but they have to like you. And you're much more likely to find a job that you really love and that you really fit in well at if you have the same ethos, have the same sort of understanding as that service that you're heading towards. So definitely go and have a look, do a little bit of research beforehand, and go and try to find a job that really suits you, that really fits you well. Not just in terms of the clinical area or specialty, but in terms of like who you are as a person. Um, Vikas, you quite recently moved jobs, actually. I don't know how you decided to do that.
Actually, yeah. So my first job, which I applied, obviously I looked the advert online, but then also because I was on Twitter, the job where I was working before, they had a Twitter page as well. So I was actually able to follow them and just find out a little bit about service by just following their service page. And I think that was quite good because in an interview, I had an idea about service already. So it just helped me to prepare a bit more better. And sometimes, like you said, it's a two-way thing. So I was able to tell them that, I've been looking at your page and it's great that you're doing this and all that. And they were actually quite, this is one of the feedback that I got, they were quite happy to see that I was already interested in the service and already knew. So I think if you are applying for jobs, and obviously one of the things that we say is find out about, and that workplace and all this. So I think Twitter might be a good place. And if they have got any other social handles, just follow them as well. And just helps you to, like I said, just build up that a little bit of knowledge base beforehand, and definitely showcase that, you're equally interested. Yeah. And in terms of interviews and stuff, I did find that doing or having that extra bit of knowledge and extra bit of work, so be it giving World Society or involved with Hub, definitely helped me to with my interview, because there's always one or two questions that want to know about you as a person and your involvement in the profession just outside the clinical work. So I think that was where I was able to highlight that work as well, and how I could support service development and in other areas. So yeah, that's probably one of the other benefits I feel of joining a professional community in that sense. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Vikas. So final question. What would you tell your final year self if you were sitting in the room today?
I think just kind of again reflecting back a long time back now. I think student involvement can definitely make a big difference to our profession, and really I feel it can help shape the future of profession ahead, especially with how things are, changing ahead. So I would definitely get involved. And like we've already mentioned, there's so many opportunities out there, be it hubs, be it sense, be it your, Giving World Society at universities, so definitely get involved and get to know your profession, your professional body, and build up those networks, which will help you going forward. Yeah, and it might sound, it might feel a bit daunting to begin with, but I think once you're there and once you start meeting people and all that, it just becomes easier. And so yeah.
I would agree. I would say something that I would tell my final year self. Now, I am not a speech and language therapist, just to say, but I love coming into work every day, and I love it so much because I really love working with my team. So I feel like regardless of what sector I ended up in, really loving the people that you work with is something that's really, really important. So think about that. Think about the ethos of the people that you're joining. Think about the mission statement or the vision of the service you think you're heading towards, because really enjoying working with your team is it's a fabulous way to get up and spend every day working. So I think that's everything for me. Anything else from you, Vikas?
No, but I just wish everybody all the very best. Yeah.
Yeah, best of luck with the rest of your final year. Good luck applying for jobs. Good luck at interviews, and we hope to see you next year presenting as an NQP at next year's RCSLT Student Day. Thank you.